Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Matt, aka the Lumberjack Landlord. Guys, if you are a first-time home buyer or you are 18 to 28 years old and saying, hey, how do I get on this property ladder they're talking about? Because I like money and I'd like more of that. We want to talk to you guys about those three most important steps. The first and most important thing, believe it or not, has absolutely nothing to do with property. It has to do with finances. You gotta get dialed in, my dudes. You gotta get dialed in on those finances. It's because we know what the mortgage guy is gonna say to you out of the gate. We know what they're gonna do to you guys. We know exactly what it is because we go through it too on all of our deals, and our deals get easier as you do more of them. But in that first one, here's what I can promise you. There will be a number of times where you will say, I hate this. I want to quit. I can't believe they want me to get them that information. I don't understand how it applies. Quite frankly, if they're going to give you some of their money as a mortgage, you're going to have to play the game. Most importantly, get your finances right. Honestly, run your free annual credit report. There's a million places that you can do that. Don't trust just a Credit Karma score. Actually get your free annual credit report so you see everything that's on there. Now, unless you're going to get largely above a 660, you have work to do. If you're going to be at 620, it's possible, but what's called DTI, debt to income, can really affect you there. So what you have to be most focused on is two things when it comes to step one, which is when you're getting your money right, you have to make sure that you're improving your credit score. You got to understand what the bad stuff is there on your credit and start to clean that stuff up first. And then secondly is getting your money right. You need to categorize every dollar that you spend, but just do it for one 30-day period. It's a pain in the ass. It's horrible, but I promise you it will get you your money right. Mark down every single thing you do and put it into an Excel spreadsheet. If you don't know how to use an Excel spreadsheet, use a Google workbook. If you don't know how to use a Google workbook, write it down on a piece of paper. If you don't know how to write it down on a piece of paper, you probably should be focusing on other areas first other than buying a house. Write all those things down. Then categorize all those things. And then what you need to do at the end of the month is see exactly how much money you've spent and seen where it's been allocated. Guys, I cannot begin to tell you. Seeing it in numbers, and it can't just be in your head, oh, well, I think it was about this. Do you know how often I do this? And people say, yeah, our monthly expenses are probably only about $1,500 or so, not including rent. And then we look at it and it's $2,700. Yeah, geez, where's all my money going? Guys, you got to do the exercise. You got to create the muscle memory, literally step by step. Here's what I'm spending these on. We're hoping to put together a workbook for you guys that will make this a little bit easier, but for right now, that Excel spreadsheet will work just fine. Now, the next step is consult with a mortgage broker. Consult with a mortgage broker. Have the conversation with them and say, my goal is to buy a house in the next 3 to 6 months. Or you could even ask, how feasible is it for me to be able to buy a house in the next 3 to 6 months? I can tell you, they'll be able to share with you and they'll say, okay, what are your expenses? What is your income? And what is your credit score? So they're going to ask you those questions. So have that conversation with them. Very often they will spend that, 20 minutes, half hour with you, send you an email and say, here's the things you need to be looking at. You'll validate me and you'll see that all the things that I told you need to be looking at, you'll find it. So again, what you're going to do is money right. Second thing is you're going to be talking to a mortgage professional and having them send you an email saying, okay, this is what we're looking at. Don't have them pull your credit. Don't do that. Don't do that. You don't want an extra inquiry on your credit. What you can do is you can actually get your free annual credit report and you could potentially send that to them, or you could even keep it yourself and just say, hey, I know what my score is this, and I know that I need to clean up these couple of accounts, or I need to pay down these balances. Because here's a little secret. When you're paying down balances, it really starts to hit your credit when utilization of your credit is more than 25 to 33%. So if you have a $10,000 credit card that you have available to you and you've got more than $2,500 to $3,300 on that credit card and it sits on there monthly, rolling and rolling and rolling, guess what? That's hitting your credit score. If it's below that 25%, it'll say, yeah, you have a balance, but it won't really adversely affect your credit score based on my experience. Third step, very important, learn your market. Understand where you want to do what we're talking about here. Here's what I can tell you. Start to track and understand and learn that market. Pick what kind of house or condo or duplex you'd like to potentially get into. Based on that work that you're doing, you can then start to understand what that market is, what the pricing is, how quickly things last, the quality of product, how much work you're going to have to do when you get into it. If you want to pick where you live or maybe the next town over, focus on a zip code, look it up on MLS, and then as you're doing some of that research, start to look on things like Zillow. But guys, look for a first-time home buyer's broker. You want somebody that understands that process cold, knows all the steps, knows where you should be looking, and don't talk to one and be done. Interview them. Have a conversation with them. Ask for a quick phone call. They'll talk to you for 20 or 30 minutes. So then they can give you some ideas. They can maybe even set you up a pre-searched link in their local MLS where they can just, on a daily basis, you just get emailed that stuff. I have a couple guys around the country that I actually do that with in markets that I'm actually studying and taking a look at. Next 3 things that you're going to be doing is, 1, making sure that you're cataloging all of your expenses, every single one of them, even that, Frappuccino, put it in the book, put it in the spreadsheet. You got to keep track of all that stuff. Second thing is certified mortgage professional, reaching out, finding someone that you like, looking it up. And again, you can look it up on Zillow. There's a bunch of paid ones there. In that particular case, again, you want to talk to people that are first-time home buyers or specialize in FHA. And then third is learning your market. And part of that is certainly getting access to MLS if it's more than just Zillow, and finding a local agent that you can work with, that you like working with, that is specialized in first-time home buyers, and then you doing the work. Don't kill yourself spending 3 hours a day doing this stuff. You don't have to do it that much. I did it that much. I didn't get burned out. I loved just digging into the numbers. Start to learn your market and seeing what's posting, how fast it's selling, and after you've kind of picked your criteria. Do not pick everything in your zip code. And so I want to make sure that I see comments down below. I will answer them, that I promise you. And we look forward to doing damage in this market together. Thanks so much, everybody. Stay tuned for the next video.